The month of June is coming on strong, so are you freaked out because you're an influencer, entrepreneur, any form of business owner, and now you're overwhelmed by the blank page that is the upcoming month of June? Let me share with you my June-centric content marketing planning method, and if you use it, you'll save yourself a lot of overwhelm and frustration, especially when you try your best to balance your busy personal and professional life over and above your content planning, creation, optimization, and publication efforts. It's super easy, and it'll make sure that you have both your relationship marketing and straight up sales-based marketing bases covered. Okay, so this is Calendar Pass 1, and here I am looking at my calendar for June without much of anything loaded onto it. It doesn't matter if you use Google Calendar or you use any other kind of digital calendar system or a paper calendar system. Whatever works for you, just work it, don't overthink things. Okay, so in the purple colored dates or events, what you're seeing are the holidays that, in this case, my Google Calendar has preloaded onto it. So that's fine, I'll leave those there. That might inform whatever content marketing I do organically, what I create on my own and publish immediately after, anything I say in live streams that I may do on those days, anything that I'll have done in advance and scheduled out through the popularity plan for June, which is my digital download asset pack that's loaded with 100 or more graphics in it, most of which are June-centric, so that it helps, especially if you're a solopreneur, you're a small business owner, you're running a mom and pop shop, what have you, and you're doing all or most of your content marketing on your own for your business, and something like all those graphics would help you cover your base better. Plus, each month's popularity pack comes with templates and or swipe files for a weekly email, in this case, 1 email a week for you to send out in the month of June, and it also comes with, in the same pack, 15 swipe files for those social media post captions that definitely go with some of the graphics that have to do with some of those June-centric days that you're seeing, or other June-centric days that are in the popularity pack. So for Calendar Pass 1, I'm starting with an almost clean template to work from here, just starting off with holidays that Google thinks is important. So next, let's add in some more days that I have to take into account as I plan out my content marketing for the month of June, and these days are kind of more practical. This is Calendar Pass 2. This is all about being realistic about real life, your personal life, and balancing it with your business and marketing on behalf of your business. Okay, in this case, my case anyway, I had barely any dates to really worry about in June when it comes to school, other than the last day of school, because from then on out, I'm going to have to take note. I'm going to have to more actively balance work and home-based responsibilities simultaneously. And I need to take that into account because if I don't, well, not much work is going to get done. It's not going to get done that well, or not that much marketing is going to get done. And then my sales will suffer and my income will drop. Kind of common sense, right? So if you're an entrepreneur parent, you should just plug in any days when school is going to be scheduled to be closed. It's a holiday, Superintendent's Day, a big break like, say, spring break, half days from school. And of course, if we're looking at the month of June, it might be the last day of school when Regents exams are wrapping up. Kids are going to come home early from that, whatever. Number one, you should want to keep track of these days, right? But number two, from an entrepreneur's perspective, a content marketing perspective, if you're like me, you don't have a professionally soundproof studio or what have you, so you may want to have a quiet house to create content in. And if kids are home, it's not going to happen, or it's not going to happen quietly and easily. So you'll want to maybe plan ahead for when you create your content, so that those days when kids are home and awake, they're off limits, or you'll have to create more content in batches as you can, batch recording, batch creation, what have you, so that you don't have to sweat having to come up with content or staying on a publishing schedule for YouTube, a podcast, and so on. You'll have done the work ahead of time and scheduled everything out that you can in advance, ideally, so that when your kid or kids are home from school all day, or they come home super early or whatever, you're fine and they're fine. everyone ideally is spending quality time together instead of you shushing them all day long, or you're getting a headache because you can't concentrate when you're trying to work. Then you can get work done and they won't feel like your business always comes first, you're not fighting with each other, and so on. Fail to plan, plan to fail. All right, let's move on to calendar pass 3. All right, so now we're on to calendar pass 3. I always tell my students, if you want to make more money as an entrepreneur, you have to make more offers. And if you want to be taken seriously as a business or business owner, you have to sell. You're helping your clientele to solve problems and or satisfy desires. So selling is helping. Entrepreneurs are paid to help people solve their problems, to get out of pain and into pleasure. So you gotta plug in the dates of sales you want to have, product launches you're gonna do, affiliate marketing campaigns you'll focus on, sponsorship deals where you're creating content live or pre-recorded, and you gotta schedule it out for deployment. No matter what business model you're running, creator, influencer, products, services, whatever you're selling, and no matter who you're selling it to, no matter what, you should have at least 2 sales-based or income-producing promotions a month at a minimum. My 6- and 7-figure students are obviously doing way more than 2 of these things a month. Some are every single week having an income-based promotion or sale, or depending upon their business model, it's daily. But let's get real. If you only launch once a month or do a straight-up sales-based promotion once a month, how much money can you really make in most cases? So in this example, I've just plugged in 2 June-based sales-based promotions into my calendar for you to see as an example. And while I've color-coded school day closures as red maybe, my sales-based promotion days are color-coded dark green or money green. And so now I know as I go into the next month that I've covered the minimum base of 2 promotions for when my sales-based activities are going to occur. And of course, I'll have to prepare as much in advance as possible any straight-up sales-based content to announce the sales that are going to occur, or the fact that, for example, enrollment's open or the cart's going to close, that sort of thing. I'll have to schedule in or factor in time to create those sales-based sort of emails and social media content, what have you. But I also have to keep in mind, and so should you, about creating content that will create intrigue, stir the pot, and warm things up, ideally before you just cold launch headlong into sell, sell, sell. I've got to calendar block out time in which to create and schedule the sales-based content in advance, as much as it is possible, so that suddenly the dates don't come up for my sales-based promotions and I'm not left getting the word out about them the last minute. That sort of poor planning is going to affect your sales, right? And not in a good way if you let that stuff go until the last minute. So you have to plan for all of that in advance too. And as you need to, you may have to plug in all of that stuff into your calendar as well. On to calendar pass number 4. Calendar pass number 4 is simple. I want to make sure that I'm loading in any birthdays, anniversaries, special events, weddings, showers, whatever, into my calendar so that, just like with the school closure days, I know when I'm not available to do things live, when I have to make sure I definitely have content created and scheduled out to cover dates like these in advance. So this way I'm persistently and consistently content marketing and covering my daily base. This way, I keep whatever email list VIPs and brand-based social media following happy and well attended to with fresh content on the daily, maybe on the weekly for things like YouTube videos and podcasts, but seriously on the daily for at least the top 2 social media platforms that are most important to your niche, okay, in your example. And on days where I have other commitments in my personal life, I could do them, be present, and not feel like one part of my life is suffering at the expense of another. So hopefully this advice helps you to do the same. On to calendar pass number 5 as we plan out a lot of the rest of our content marketing for the month of June. Okay, calendar pass 5. I just spoke about covering a social media content marketing daily base. Not everywhere, just to be clear, just the top 2 social media platforms that are most important to your niche. As you grow more profitable, you grow a team, you can spread out to more and more social media platforms if you like, to increase the public's discoverability of your brand. As you can see here, I've got a lot of dates covered with this 5th calendar pass. I'll go back and load in more if I want to, but just so that you can see, I've got June-centric holidays, tentpole events, special days, what have you, plugged in to serve as inspiration for my content creation on those days. Plus, I can use my own popularity plan, June Digital Assets Pack, to do a lot of the heavy lifting for me when it comes to graphics, social media post captions, and more, so that I'm not creating everything from scratch myself. So as you can see in this banana yellow color, I've got a lot of bases covered, a lot of content that I can create, and a lot of talking points to keep the brand-based community and email list I have currently amassed happy. And I remain top of mind with them, but if I optimize my posts properly, I can get on the radar screen of potential new clients in a variety of ways as well. Nice, right? Am I going to put out additional content on those days? Sure, that can happen, but I have been in business as a coach for 10 years. And in more recent years, I've gotten a small but mighty team to help me edit videos, design graphics, and so on. If you do not have access to that right now, that's okay. You can get a team down the road if that's what you want. But in the meantime, you've got to schedule or calendar block additional days into your content calendar where you have time to batch plan, batch create, batch record, batch edit, batch schedule out content that you have completed. So with or without the popularity plan to help, you can do it. You just have to plan for all of this activity and then follow through on the work that's required. But hey, if success was easy, everyone would do it, am I right? Every entrepreneur would be rich, wouldn't they? So I didn't say any of this stuff is easy, especially if you don't have the popularity plan for June, but it can be a whole lot easier on you personally and or professionally if you plan ahead and you put in the work that needs to be put in. This method is one that you can use to cover all of your bases for relationship marketing, straight up sales-based marketing, all of it for the month of June. And whether you're doing everything from scratch or not, at least now you have a blueprint for how your business is going to run throughout June, and you'll know how much content you need to do all of the marketing and selling that you need to do for your business to succeed in that month as well. I'm all about teaching influencers, entrepreneurs, all sorts of business owners, all about content marketing that converts. So make sure you subscribe to my channel and watch the next video of mine that YouTube really thinks you'll like.